G'day guys, it's Tom here with MYT Solar. This was an awesome one. We had such a great time with this install. It was a challenge, but it was a lot of fun, and if we could take this rig from the customer and disappear, we probably would. It is the Thor Compass. I believe it's a 23 TW. It's a Thor product. It's an all-wheel drive, Class B plus, Class C, based on the Transit all-wheel drive vehicle. And it's an awesome little motorhome. The all-wheel drive would be great in the snow, some extra adventures getting out there, especially now with this system that we've put on it. I'll show you around. These Thor motorhomes, they have all the BM Pro system right here, which is going to control all your lights, your slides, your thermostat and everything. We were able to get our awesome power screen right here below, the Touch 70, that's giving us all our information right now. Look at this. In the PV charger section, we are getting 813 watts right now on this little motorhome. We've only got 1,000 watts on the roof, and we're pulling 800 watts out of that right now in a not the sunniest day. Absolutely awesome. The panels are very flat mounted on this roof. They're the new Onyx Rich solar panels. They're 250 watts. We put 4 of them in series, and they're matte black, and they look fantastic up on this roof. All the information right here on this screen, perfect place for it. You can check it from inside. If the nice thing about a motorhome, if someone wanted to come back and see what's going on while you're traveling down the road, all that information is right here. Your battery percentage, what your 12 volt stuff you're using, how much 120 volt you're running, how much time you have to go to empty, how much solar you're bringing in, all those really fundamental and crucial important things to know about your RV in terms of power. And power is something that these guys have. Let's go look at that next. Alrighty. What used to be a compartment full of sewer hoses and external stuff is now a monster power system. We have 3 of the 330 amp hour lithium batteries from Victrion, a total of 990 amp hours. We have the multi-plus inverter. Now, just in case you're wondering, obviously this is a pretty tight compartment. It's fully open on one side to the rest of the RV, which I love. And this multi-plus is vented through into a much larger compartment with drawers that are opened all the time. I don't see this being a real problem in terms of heat. It's always a concern. It's a small motorhome. We did what we could, and this will be well ventilated. They can always crack the door if they're camping somewhere safe, like a harvest host, which is what they plan to do a lot of. But I'm not worried about temperature with this. It looks cramped, but it's going to operate greatly. Multi-plus 3000 watt inverter charger. When these guys are unplugged, they're at a harvest host, they have 990 amp hours of battery. They're going to be able to run their air conditioning, not need to run the generator, which they have, which I'll talk about in a second. But these guys have got 990 amp hours, running the microwave, running the coffee pot, running the air conditioner all night, and then obviously the fridge, furnace, lights, all those things, never going to have any trouble with them. But with the inverter, we get that 120 volt stuff when we're off grid, which is awesome. It's a full Victrion system, multi-plus, the Lynx Smart BMS, which is controlling the batteries, the Lynx distributor, the Servo GX, which allows remote monitoring, and get in there and have a look. Really happy with how this one turned out and the space that we were able to use. So the one thing that isn't in this compartment, and I intentionally didn't put it in this compartment, are the solar controllers. Now, I said controllers. They tend to get a little warm. We've already got the multi-plus in here, which in here is really the only thing that's going to produce a little heat. But I figured we may as well take the solar controllers and put them in a different location. They're actually under the bed. They obviously feed into this system, but they're just not in here. We were running out of space and there was no reason to bring those in here. We have 2 solar charge controllers for this rig. As I said, there's 1,000 watts of solar on the roof, and that's coming down to a 150/70 MPPT from Victrion. And then we actually tied another MPPT from Victrion, a 130, into the system as well. And the reason that we did that is we actually built a little solar port back here with an Anderson connector, simple plug-in Anderson connector. And I've already know what the customer's planning to do with it. But think about it, you park in the shade, you've got 1,000 watts on the roof. Wouldn't it be nice to put 400 watts on the ground out in the sun if you're in the shade? That way it's still tied into this system. You get to see all your solar from both of those controllers. You get to see the information on that Touch 70 panels. It's all Victrion related. It's not just plugging into a random controller and hoping that it's charging. It ties into the Victrion system. There's another charge controller with the Anderson port back here. And he's also going to try to mount, they tow a car with this, a little, I think it's a Honda Fit or something like that. they're also those panels that he's going to use, the customer is going to use in the sun, he's actually going to mount some panels to the car so that when he's driving along, that car has also got panels on the roof as well as the motorhome, which is pretty awesome. As I said, 1,000 watts of solar on the roof to recharge that big battery bank. The awesome thing is I asked the customer whether they would want a DC to DC charger, which is something I think they will add later on, especially with the new Orion XS 50 amp charger. They can get 700 watts thrown back from the van alternator. They didn't want that, and one of the reasons is that they're going to be able to run the multiplus through the generator. So they'll fire up the generator while they're traveling along, run the air conditioner, the coach air conditioner, the dash air conditioner will be running, but they'll fire up the multiplus through the generator, which will allow the batteries to charge at 100 amps anyway while they're driving down the road. And the solar is going to be charging. Add the DC to DC, that would be an awesome system, and I have a feeling they'll come back for that later. But that's why we didn't install a DC to DC charger on this particular vehicle. Thanks so much for watching. We had a lot of fun with this one. Again, this was a Thor Compass 23 TW, the all-wheel drive, awesome little transit-based motorhome with a killer power system. This is MYT Solar. Thank you for watching.